movie star, all dressed up for the high school prom. Let's get to dancing and party till dawn. It's my high school graduation. 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 10 years pass like a trip on a boat, stuck in the middle of a root beer float.
I just remembered I should go in there and brush my hairs up before videos. I don't know, I guess I could use a little bit more vanity. Anyway, let's see. I taught a Kung Fu class today. So I will admit, though, today I felt like I was a little more underwater. I felt like I was moving in water. I was having to push myself a little harder to do what seems to be normally easier. I just locked in my white balance. And then I just locked in my exposure. But so it was a little bit more. But I had a good time. I had a lot of fun. I had my student cracking up. I was making all kinds of jokes. He was laughing a bunch of times. I think he had a really good time. Let's see. In terms of the radiation, they started off the thing. They were going, "Oh man, you shouldn't be in that much pain." Because they asked me, and I said, "Oh, I'm feeling this kind of." Really, you shouldn't. And then they came back later. "Oh, well, we thought you'd only been here 5 days. It's been 10 days. Yeah, you should be feeling something." And but I thought that was interesting that they only thought I'd been in there for 5 days. And it had been 10. So, am I not so memorable? And the chemo, I'm still getting through that without much problem. Sticking with the same routine, take the nausea, an empty stomach, eat a meal, wait 10, 15 minutes. I always wait about 10, 15 minutes because I don't want to interfere with my digestion either. And then I take it. And and I had my 2 doses. Now I got the July 4th weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I don't have to do radiation or chemotherapy. So I got like 3 days off, which maybe is kind of good. And so for the next 3 days, I should feel a little better. And maybe I should make some videos, Kung Fu videos. Yikes. But anyway, let's see. Overall, I'm managing. I'm not going to make any excuses. If I got something to do, I'll get it done. I have a lot of trouble with Adobe Premiere. I've been working. I thought I was going to make a lot of progress this week on the music videos and get those out and get back to the record album. I can't get to the record album because of these videos. These videos are totally got me backed up in the system. I've not been able to launch one video in about 3 or 4 days. I've had the second one of these chemo videos. I've been trying to upload it for 3 days and it just keeps crashing the program. I can't figure it out. I've been trying to upload it at YouTube 1080p, and right now I'm trying to just do regular 1080p, and I'm trying to figure out a way to just to take it from my Adobe Premiere and make it MP4, and then I got to upload it still, which is hours. But I can't seem to get it out of Adobe Premiere, and so all this work I've been doing to figure out how to master editing, and I just can't press a button and have it come out. I can't. The program is totally stopping me, or my computer is I don't know, whatever it is, I'm kind of like jammed up. So I thought I was doing so good and I ran into this brick wall. Okay, anyway, I got to figure out something. I don't know what to do, to be honest with you still. I'm trying to get the second video up online. I got the first one and that's it. And I've been trying to do it the same way since, but it won't go. My computer just keeps stopping up. And Adobe Premiere just locks up and it won't finish processing the video, so I don't have a video to upload. Okay, anyway, at least not something that's been edited. And I've tried sending up the originals, but the originals are .mov. They're not MP4s. And they say in YouTube, I went and read all their specifications, and they say that when you do upload an MOV, it's going to upload slower than an MP4. So if I can manage to just do a normal edit and and have it and spit it out in an MP4 from my computer, it should upload faster to them. But I can't get it to spit out my computer that MP4, so that's where I'm stuck. Let's see. It's yesterday. So today's Friday. Also, today, Friday, I had to go do my blood test. It's like 110 degrees, around here this last couple of weeks. So it's like I got to get all my running done in the mornings. And my truck has trouble starting in hot weather. I thought I'd fixed it, and I think I did primarily. I used a MAF, Mass Airflow Sensor, MAFS, sensor spray. And it's this one particular chemical spray. You go to the auto parts store, get this one spray. It's like $15, but it's worth it. And then you take this one part out of your air. Now your air take into your engine, you got this hole, you got this tube like a vacuum cleaner, and it's sucking the air in to mix with the gasoline. Well, right there in that first tube, in most modern cars, they have something, or I don't know, all of them maybe, they have something called a mass airflow sensor. And you can actually, take a few screws and you just pop out this little section, and it's the air passes through this thing. And this thing has some wires in it. And these wires are very sensitive, and they detect temperature and maybe the vibration of the air, but they can figure out how much air is going through there. And then they determine how much to automatically open or let the air in to mix with the gas, so you don't have too much air or too little air, and you got the right mixture for the temperature that everything's operating at. It's supposed to fix all that. Well, anyway, the mass airflow sensor, those wires can get jammed up with dust and stuff, and that affects them. And I think that's what made it so hard to start my car in hot weather. But yesterday, it was, in fact, I checked, it was only 92 degrees. And I had to start my car like 3 times to get it to start. And then today, after the grocery store, my last stop was about 11 o'clock. I was getting, into the 90s again. I had to start the car twice. It wouldn't start, grab the first time. So I can't, anything over 100, I might not be able to start my car. So a little limitation there. But okay, where were we? But yeah, and today, every Friday I go for a blood test. I have what's called a standing order. There was a big mess up over the last couple weeks getting this together, but got it together now. And what I do is I go online to questdiagnostics.com, and I got all my appointments scheduled for the next 5-6 weeks. And same time on Fridays, keep it nice and simple. So if I wait, that slot might be gone. So I've got them all the same time slot for the next 5 weeks. So every Friday I got to go do a blood test because this chemo stuff is killing me. So if I'm dying too quickly, they want to know. Or if my white blood count goes way up high or something, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, they're monitoring my health, which is good, I guess. Get tired of blood tests. And then I paid my rent. So for me, I have to go to the store and get money orders. And in fact, I'm on Social Security, and I normally get paid on the 3rd. But the government's kind of nice, and I realized that the 3rd was going to be like on a Sunday, and then the 4th is a holiday, and then the 5th would be Tuesday. So rather than making all the people on Social Security get their payment on the 5th, I actually had it this morning on the 2nd instead of the 3rd. So that was kind of nice. Thank you, Uncle Sam. So I was able to go get my rent check today. Otherwise, I would have waited till tomorrow. But now to stay in, 110 degrees. Anyway, so I just try to limit whatever I'm out. Up here in the high desert. And let's see. The Kung Fu Cowboy. I really want to be there. I've been thinking about wearing my cowboy hat now. I should start being the Kung Fu Cowboy. I got to start thinking, that way, instead of kind of hiding and not letting people know I'm the Kung Fu Cowboy. Kind of not letting know people a Kung Fu master, kind of like, I've been kind of like in a way, not being shy, but in a way kind of protecting myself. Way too humble and not promoting myself, dressing down, wearing t-shirts and clothes and stuff, and not dressing fancy, not letting my car look fancy, you don't want to make it look like it's something worth breaking into. I've been like dumbing down my image for, 15 years now, or 10 years. Anyway, so let's get back to, the Tao of Taoism. I didn't get you anything ready. See if I can remember something fun from the Tao. In fact, I'm going to kind of remember something that's not in my Tao book. And this is something that's always haunted me. This haunted me a lot when I was in Utah during the 90s. And that's when I realized that this line kept echoing through me on almost a daily, weekly basis or something like that. And this is, to me, a Taoist concept. It's don't plant seeds in sandy soil. There is an exception to that, and that's these Joshua plant trees up here in this high desert. They can only grow in this like really, really sandy soil, I think. They don't grow anywhere else in the world, I don't think. There's just the heat, the altitude, the soil, the cold. I don't know. They seem to like it here for some reason, but not too much water. So anyway, I got some seeds. When I first moved here a year ago, they're on my balcony. I don't know if they're too old now or not, but I got myself a whole pond of seeds. And I was going to go dig up some of the sandy soil because they'll have to use whatever this soil is that they like. and I was going to grow some. But anyway, but I just buy a hose. I just got myself a hose. I actually got it so I could clean the balcony. So I could everything's so dusty and dirty, and it'd just be nice to have a hose and clean everything off. So I got that, and I got to confess, the secondary concept was, what if there's a fire? What can I do about it? Well, not a whole lot without a hose. So with a hose, there's a lot more I can do. So anyway, and I got a nice nozzle. And I got the metal one. It looks like Rolex. It's a metal aluminum something, and I got that one. I don't know. I was just looking. They had expandable hoses. I didn't feel real good about that, but if you had to carry it around, they kind of shrink up, I guess, and you can put them in a bag. They shrink down really small. But this one, if you coil it up, it shrinks down to a box about this big, so you just coil it up. It's not that bad. So anyway, it's 25-footer. Okay, so let's see. What else am I going to tell you? Well, don't plant your seeds in sandy soil. So the point is that you can't just expect your dreams to materialize out of anything. You need the right resources. And my whole life is kind of a problem with that, because even though I'm an adventurer and an entrepreneur and a creative person, my limitation has always been my resources. Whether I was traveling, inventing, writing, creating, or entertaining, whatever I've done, I've always been really limited in resources. My entire lifetime, I've been a poor person. I've never had enough money to do anything that I wanted to do. I've never had enough money to actually launch any of my businesses successfully. Nobody else could have done it, probably either with what I had. So, because other people have tried. And they end up in the same spot or worse than if I tried to do it myself. Even the Small Business Administration. It's been 1 year. They started last August, and it's July now. And their goal was to get me as a book publisher up by December of just last year, and selling my audiobooks, my new product, and put a website out and got everything ready, and had them look at my Facebooks and all this type stuff, and got their advice. And I've sold 22 books. They don't. I know more than they do about business. And but it was nice to, like I said, get a little bit of advice. I always learn something. I've got to have learned something from them. But overall, they weren't able to improve my career. So it takes money, it takes resources, it takes people who are really invested in my individual products, So anyway, where were we? Well, that's it. So that's the Tao. Don't plant your seeds in sandy soil. Make your dreams a reality by making everything viable. That's it, viable. And I would say that was the other thing. If I was to look, hindsight or whatever, is what's the viability of everything you're doing? What are the possibilities of it really working? Not just you hope it'll work, but that it will work no matter what, to what level, what's the minimum you should expect. So that's one way to look at it. And I didn't get a lot of my minimums. I did not get a lot of my minimums. So anyway, I'm not really even making excuses, just explaining, because, basically one of the reasons I want to make a lot of videos is I wish that when I was a teenager, I knew what I know now. So if you want to have a better life, you should listen to what I'm saying, because I really, really could have had even a better life. But the fact is, I've had a better life than most people because of what I already do and found out and discovered along the way. So I've got a lot to share, even though it might not have worked out the way I wanted to. It's great stuff. And a lot of stuff worked out much better than even other people doing it. So it's not that they're failure stories. I'm trying to figure out the other day, have I failed? And I thought, well, I failed in terms of maybe what I wanted, but I've always had a certain amount of success. I've always gotten it to a certain level of success, so I couldn't call it a failure. And it's just because I wanted it to go a whole bunch higher, it doesn't make it a failure. So that's the way my whole life has been. It's just getting only this far, because that's as far as I could go. And anyway, there you go. Hey, let's get out of here. Anyway, taught a Kung Fu class. Yay! Shaolin Chi Matters. And actually, by students in Tai Chi Youth, though, I decided he's not as motivated as I would like. And I feel like sometimes I'm scaring him a little bit, scaring him away. But I was excited. I was sharing some information with him today. I was saying, I'm starting my staff class now. And we do the push-ups in the staff class we do fingertip push-ups. So you lay your staff on the ground, and then you have to have your hand over it. Your goal is to not touch your staff. So however you want to put your fingers, I don't really care. But you just got to basically, you're on your fingers and you're not touching your staff. And that's how, and then you do your 10 push-ups that way, or 10 2 levels. It's like, you say down, down, up, 1, down, down, up, 2. That's how we do our push-ups. And do 10 of them at least. And then I showed him something else. Like I said, I was telling you about the sit-ups and different things that we do. Like I said, I hope I didn't scare him away. But I just want to show that we do advance. We go to a point, as I ended up telling him, then I realized, okay, I threw a whole bunch of stuff at him. I said, I just wanted to let you know that by the time you're done with our beginner program, you're going to know 3 or 4 ways to do sit-ups, and you're going to know different push-ups. You'll know do different everything. So then you can start to organize and recreate your workouts because you'll know all these different variations of them. So it's a very comprehensive beginner program. My beginner program is a karate black belt program. I would challenge any karate program to see if it had even maybe taekwondo, that my beginner program exceeds any Japanese or karate style. Yeah, just my beginner program. I'm not talking about my intermediate, my advanced, and my instructor program. I'm just saying that my beginner program alone is bigger and better than most black belt programs. So I got to figure out how to market this. I got a great program. I don't want to die and leave all this great Kung Fu, my great program, my great curriculums that have proven they work. They make better people than any other martial arts program I've ever seen. You got to remember, most martial artists, I know them now. I'm 67, so I'm hanging out with all these 50 to 70-year-old martial artists from the 70s. A lot of them are 70s, especially at the martial arts history. It's the only place that they can get any fame because they're past heroes. And so I'm hanging around with a lot of these people, and boy, are they all beat up and mangled and miserable and unhappy because they did karate. Yeah. All the injuries they got from being in class, from learning how to fight people, means that they were a crash test dummy for the rest of the students, and they spar all the time. So they all got injuries. I mean, so many of them. I mean, you can find any karate guy who's been in karate for 10 years, or maybe less, who has less than 3 bone breaks. Go for that. Go for 3 bone breaks or dislocations. See if you can find anybody who's got less than that. You might not. I mean, like I said, anytime I walk into a karate school, somebody's always going out on a stretcher. I rarely visit a karate school without some injury being taken to a hospital or something while I'm visiting. Okay, hey, let me get out of here. All right, yeah, so go take a shower. And, I'm going to go take a shower. It's talking to me. And July 4th weekend, I wish it meant something to me. I wanted it to be the release of the American Zen-Up, but I can't even work on it. All this week, I wanted to get back to work on it. You'd get these videos in production, and I'm all jammed up. I got to come up with some solution. I really do. So anyway, I'm going to go take a shower, and then I'm going to get back in there and see if I can figure it out, because I got to get past this video production to get back to the album. So, I'm doing this for you, I think.
In a car, I look like a penguin with the movie star, all dressed up for the high school prom. Let's get to dancing and party till dawn. It's my high school graduation. 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 10 years pass like a trip on a boat, stuck in the middle of a root beer float. From job to job with a college degree, gotta keep working to pay for that degree. It's my high school 10-year reunion. It's my high school 10-year reunion. It's my high school 10-year reunion. Well, you know what it is. Spitting out babies for the big machine. Everybody's measured by their stack of green. I'm just taking pictures for a magazine. I shouldn't be embarrassed, I don't fit their scene. It's my high school 20-year reunion. It's my high school 20-year reunion. It's my high school 20-year reunion. Why did I try to ever fit in? Why did I try to ever give away my time in life? To be divorced with a second wife. Kids in high school don't really care whether their parents are losing their hair. It's my high school 30-year reunion. It's my high school. It's my high school 30-year reunion. It's my high school 30-year reunion. I just want to do what is